of the moon. I don't know if you knew it did this though. This is called a libration. We can actually see 59% of the moon, so it wobbles a little bit in its orbit. So the moon is going around the Earth, and I wanted to show a different viewpoint. This would be from looking at the Earth from behind the moon. You can see the back of the moon. So this is, the moon is tidally locked, and here it is facing the Earth as it orbits. So why does it do this? Why do we only see one face of the moon? Well, the short answer is fun with gravity. The long answer is that, and I won't be going over that today. So, any two bodies orbiting each other like the Earth and the Moon, the gravitational attraction will cause them to, this is highly exaggerated, cause them to bow towards each other like this. The gravitational tug on the opposite sides of each one is going to be a little less than one facing each other. And now we've got the added complication of now these bodies are rotating. So you'll have and the Earth is covered with all this stuff that sloshes around. So you've got this tidal bulge that it pulls toward the moon, and but the Earth rotates, so that bulge is a little bit offset to that. Well, that creates a torque, and this is also happening on the moon. And this causes the familiar tides. And when the tidal bulges are misaligned, it essentially like creates a handlebar that gravity can grab a hold of and torque it back around. Now, eventually, the torque on the moon, for instance, is over. There is no torque. It's been pulled into an orbit that and a rotation that it always keeps one face. Now, the moon is torquing the Earth right now, and you probably heard that the moon is going away from the Earth. Well, what's going on here is the moon is slowing the Earth down, and the Earth is throwing the moon out. And again, fun with gravity. So, when did the moon get tidally locked? After the moon's formation, and I'm not going to go through all this, but it's about 16 million years after the creation of the moon is probably when it got tidally locked. What would happen if the Earth was tidally locked to the sun? Well, that would happen. The side facing the sun would, well, pretty much stay the same, and the side not facing the sun would freeze right over it. This was done in Universe Sandbox.
Why is it lit on the...
Because of the thing I clicked on the side to say I can't see the back side of it right now, and I need to show this. So it's a lighting thing. So the moon is not the only tidally locked body in the solar system. You can see here there's many of the moons, the big ones, are tidally locked, and I wanted to show what that looked like. And here are some likely tidally locked. So you see there's quite a few of them. So here's Mars and Phobos. Just going to let this run, and I got Deimos on here too. But that's what it looks like. There is an asteroid that this is a rubble pile asteroid, so it got spinning so fast that it fissioned off a daughter, and that daughter stole some angular momentum, and that asteroid is tidally locked to the parent. It always keeps one face toward it. All the four inner moons of Jupiter are all tidally locked to Jupiter. And
all the Galilean moons.
Yeah, the 4 Galilean moons, and I think there's a small one at Astrea. I can't remember the name.
Almathea.
I believe it's locked as well.
It is.
So we're getting further and further away here with each one of them. And this is done in NASA Eyes on the Solar System. This is a free app from NASA that you can get and do this kind of stuff.
See if you can
tour the solar system and missions and things like that. So continuing on.
You have a demonstration of a Mercury?
No, I don't, but I can run this app and show you what it looks like.
We understand there's a major discussion about it being tidally locked.
Well, it's actually, when I was looking at this, I probably should have done something on that. There is a term for it. It's like resonance locked or something like that. Now here's one of the moons that Ken was talking about. We've got these in here. What's going on with Enceladus is, again, it's bending. This is from the surface. This is using an app called Space Engine. It has to be said like that, very dramatic. This is seen from the surface of Enceladus, looking at Saturn, and from one point, Saturn is just always going to be hanging in the sky like that. But what you've got going on here, again, these moons are owing towards Saturn, and they're rotating. So you've got this, and they're solid bodies for the top of them are anywhere. So it causes tidal shearing, which is what's causing the jets on Enceladus. So these are all Saturn's moons. Uranus is kind of weird because Uranus is almost a 90 orbits 90, or its axial tilt is almost 90 degrees, and so you've got a very weird. Now you'll notice that these things aren't rendered very well because the data is taken from the Voyager spacecraft, and we only got parts of these things.
Are Uranus's satellite moons in the plane of the solar system, so they're the
No,
moons are
no,
the 90 degrees?
they're orbiting in the 90 degrees.
So they're tilted 90 degrees as well.
Yes,
The
they are.
orbits are tilted 90 degrees.
I could show you some orbital diagrams of these two using these applications.
Well, if something hit Uranus and turned it, what made all the moon's orbits turn?
Uranus.
Again, fun with gravity.
Moons
Uranus.
may have been created in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Those aren't captured moons, those are formation moons.
So Triton is tidally locked, and this guy's got a weird orbit. But I love this. This is done in Space Engine, and I have Proteus. That's a small moon in there. It would look very weird to be near one of these things and see this kind of thing. And again, there's from the surface of the planet Neptune just hanging in the sky at one point. That'd be very cool to see.
How fast is this sped up?
Oh yeah,
Real
yeah,
time?
yeah. I'm really cruising here. I've spent time up on these. Pluto and Charon are an interesting duo. They are both tidally locked with each other. Though Pluto has one face that Charon always sees, and the same with Charon. And I really had to jack up the intensity of the lighting here because in real lighting, that's so dim it's ridiculous. So there are some extrasolar planets that are tidally locked, and I wanted this was one of them. I used Space Engine, and I said I wonder if they have this one in there. So I typed this one in, and there it was. What's interesting about this one is just the way they rendered it. I'm not sure if it actually is like tilted this way.
How can we tell it's tidally locked?
That's a good question. There's references in the article I was looking at that go to this. Here's its orbit around. So this is a triple tri-star system with a planet around it. I don't know why it's okay. This one, Buutes, this guy is a hot Jupiter who is so close to its primary, the front of this thing is incandescent. And it has a comet tail coming off of it.
Oh, wow.
And it's a planet in a dual star system, which I thought was pretty cool.
So it's pretty temporary.
So, from what I was reading, close binary pairs are supposed to be tidally locked, but when it comes to a star, I'm not really sure what that means. I mean, like our sun has differential rotation, the equator rotates faster than the pole. So if it does it mean that these things? Well, if they were close enough, they would be bulging toward each other. But does that mean that the gas doesn't rotate? I just think that would be kind of weird. I'm not really sure what that would mean. So the apps I used to make this presentation, again, this NASA Eyes on the Solar System. This is a free app that works on the PC and the Mac, and you can tour the solar system and go to all the current space missions and things like that. Space Engine. This is a really cool app, but you can go all over the universe. I mean, you can zoom out. Literally, you can go to the moon, or zoom out to the edge of the observable universe in this thing. And I used the package called Open Broadcast software to do the screen captures, and this also can do live streaming to the internet. And Shotcut, which is an open source video editing application, which when I went to do the Astronomy for Everyone taping, they were putting stuff together using a professional package which looked almost just like this. This is a free app. So, that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
Do you see Mercury?
Yeah, you want to see Mercury?
Yeah.
I have a question
What?
on the asteroid that had a moon. Is that radar images that deduce its...
Yes. Yes.
Question, you said the Mercury's tidally locked as you look it up, but I understood that the rotational period of Mercury is 59 days. And
Yeah, I know. There's like a
80?
there's a synchronization. It's not always
It's in
facing-
resonance.
Yeah, it's a resonance orbit. And
It's basically 69.
Seems like Venus is pretty close to it too, because of the.
I'd like to see if I can get Mercury to do what you had in that presentation on
double sunrise?
both of these apps. I'd really like to see if I could do that.
Do any moons have moons?
That's a good question.
Well,
I think they would probably
is the
get
Lunar
stolen.
Reconnaissance Orbiter a satellite of the, well, it is a satellite of the moon, but,
Well, once we, well, I guess it's not going to be in orbit. Once we capture an asteroid and park it on the far side of the moon,
Do any moons have natural moons?
I would think not. I would think...
I don't think we have
I've never
any
heard of
those.
any, Alan.
I would think not. I think they would get yanked out.
Yeah.
Over time, they decay or something like that.
Even if you're in orbit around Ganymede, you're not going to be able to compete with Jupiter for long.
Right.
Uh-oh, am I online? Oh, I'm not online. All right, well, we're not doing it with this one. This is the unfortunate thing with NASA Eyes on the Solar System. The app is small, and it wants to download things from the internet, and so I'm not doing it with that. So let's bring up Space Engine.
Called the cloud.
I shouldn't have closed it.
So in your head, you pronounce it that way too?
What? Space Engine, yes. This is a pretty cool app. I'm not sure if this is Windows only. I can't remember. But the guy's asking for donations. But there was a recent thing on Facebook I saw about it was a 2D telescopic optical zoom to the star cluster Tarzan 5, and I thought, well, that would be pretty cool. So I brought up Space Engine here, and I zoomed to it, and this is a 3D zoom through the galaxy, which is really cool.
Space Engine's Windows only right now.
Pardon me?
It's Windows only right now.
It is? Okay.
So we're going to see Mercury and the
Yes,
sun right
yeah,
quick?
I'm gonna bring up
Cool.
Mercury as soon as this thing comes up. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that this thing is going to accurately represent Mercury. I'm hoping it does. You guys did pretty good. Homunculus Nebula was pretty cool here. But yeah, the really cool thing, like I was showing the Ring Nebula earlier, it's really cool being able to go to the Ring Nebula, see it the way it is, and then zoom around it and see what it looks like from the side. That is very cool. And now we're going to zoom through the galaxy, because I was in the core of the galaxy there.
Cue John Williams.
Hyperspacing like dust and crops.
Who says we can't travel faster than the speed of light?
Just the guy in charge of those decisions.
There we go.
Alright, so here's Mercury. And let's get rid of orbit lines. Do you want to see orbit lines? No, let's do orbit lines. So, oh, geez. Right. So let's dim that down a bit. And now I can't see Mercury. That's great. Alright. So, orbit, rotate with object.
can we land on it?
Yeah, let's go here. think you gotta be right above where you want to land and say land on object. And now, yeah, where's the sun?
Here comes the sun.
Is that right?
I don't know where the sun is, so let's do this.
Let's look for a shadow.
You can go on in.
Come on. All right, now I'm over here. So where is?
There's the
All right,
sun.
so now let's just speed up time.
Well, it's not tidally locked, or the sun would be staying in the same space all this place.
But I think every time it reaches perihelion,
Yes, when it's passing through perihelion, then you get its rotation rate offsets the going around the sun rate, like that.
There it was. There it was.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
Do it again. How fast?
now,
I can't believe you picked the right spot to see that.
Right.
now I thought that
There you go.
Venus
Well,
and Earth were in the same, were in
So you
resonance.
pick a spot where you don't get the sunrise, so if you rotated a different spot on the planet, you could see it come up, go down, come up.
Yep.
So
like
every
that
part on the
too.
planet should be able to see something, see the sun stop in the sky and go on.
Back up a little bit. Come on.
That's really
All right,
nice.
so right there. Go back down. Okay, I'm not in the right spot. Well, I guess I was lucky to get that spot the first time.
All right. Anything else for us, Bob?
Not really.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
So which one did you say is only available on Windows so far?
Space engine.
Okay.
Excuse me, space engine.
Space engine! So, anybody want to see anything? Let's go to the core of the galaxy. Everybody. Let's go extragalactic.
Yeah.
I'm
So
74.
one more trick for us.
Lights, turn lights off.
You see a Wolf Red Star?
Hit the brakes.
Maybe you turn the brightness up.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of space engine.
Space
Space engine. All right.
All right.
Dan, you
Cowboys in space.